Alright, so we're into the second week of November 2024, and I've had this goal list or list of things I wanted to accomplish in 2024, and a lot of those things are skateboard related. And so one of the things that I figure I might be able to complete before the end of this year would be to land a no comply 180. And so I'm gonna try to get that done in the next month and a half. All right, so no comply 180 is a pretty interesting trick. So I'm gonna try to show you with my hands. So I'm goofy, so I ride with my right foot in front. And what essentially a no comply is I will be riding forward, then I will take my front foot off the board, plant it on the ground, and then my left foot will pop the board and scoop the tail around 180, and then jump back on the board and ride away with my left foot in front, or switch. I'm not sure how I'll explain that, but one of my favorite skaters, Johnny Geiger, does no comply and no comply variations super well. So I'll show you a clip of what this should look like.
Yo, what is up guys, Johnny Geiger here. Today I'm gonna teach you one of the best skateboarding tricks ever. Do you know comply 180?
I'm padded up today, so taking no risks. Got my knee pads and shin guards on as well. And I've been watching some YouTube tutorials on how to do this thing and break it down into digestible steps. So today I'm just gonna be skating around in this empty parking lot nearby my house. And I guess before we get started with the no comply steps, I'm gonna do a couple warm-ups, just basic warm-up tricks like ollie and my 180s and things like that. All right, let's get it. So the first step of a no comply is essentially taking my front foot off the board and then planting it on the ground. And I think I can do that pretty well. So let's do it a couple times. Alright, I think I got step one down. Okay, so step two is having my front foot planted on the ground. Now I'm gonna do the scoop with my back foot. I'm just gonna do this stationary and not actually jump on the board. Planted. Up off the board. Up off. So I run into an issue already where when I do the scoop with my back foot, the board has a tendency to flip along with it. And I think this has something to do with just where I position my left foot. So my left foot's kind of like edging towards the toe side. So I'm just gonna try to center my left foot a little bit, see how it helps. Center. Cool. So I think another thing that really helps is that when I scoop with my back foot is to keep my back foot over the tail, and if the board wants to flip, my foot will kind of keep it flat, and so that'll prevent the flipping as well. All right, so step three, I think I'm gonna try to put together doing this slowly rolling and then combine taking off my front foot to plant on the ground and then do the scoop with my back foot and then just land with my left foot, and that's all. So that puts together kind of the first two steps. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I think one of the things that was challenging was was kind of adjusting to having momentum to begin with. Feels very different from when I was doing it stationary, so it just took a little bit of time to adjust, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of the taking my foot off and then scooping with my back foot. And at some points I thought I could actually jump back on, so that would be the next step of the no comply 180. So let's try that. So this is going smoother than I thought. So I'm actually just gonna try to do all of the steps together, but just like really, really slowly. So the next step is essentially fusing together the first and second steps. As my front foot comes off the board, then I initiate the pop with my back foot as well. And I've never done that before, so I just want to get a sense of what that might feel like. So I'm just going to give it a couple tries and see what happens. When I try to combine those first two steps, it's really hard to control the power of the pop and scoop. That's leading to lots of board flipping and flying all weirdly out of control. But I think with some practice, that will probably get a little bit more controlled. So the other problem that I've run into is that when the board pops up and flies wildly, it kind of goes in between. The board kind of flips in between this area here. It gets pretty close to the, you know, the no man land. Maybe I'll try stepping out with my planting foot a little bit wider. I feel like there was a point where it kind of clicked a little bit. I was able to do a few where I felt like the scoop was controlled and I was able to put my front foot back on and then jump and then bring my back foot back on to have both feet on the board and roll away. Made a lot of progress today. I'm gonna pick it up next time. See you in the next session. Peace. All right, this is session number 2. And I think I'm gonna just start off. I've already done my warm up and everything, so I'm just gonna get right into the no comply 180s. And so I'm gonna start off and just get reacquainted with the feeling of breaking down the no comply into 2 steps, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so the first few ones were pretty bad, but then I started to remember and kick in the muscle memory. So now I'm gonna move on to the next step, which is to combine the step off and the scoop into one smooth motion. All right, so I got a few good ones in there. Feels like the muscle memory is kicking back in. One thing I noticed that helped me was I started to move my front foot up on the board a little bit more, and that actually helped me control the pop and the scoop a bit more. So, so I think that's an improvement. I'm gonna keep doing that. And so I think the next step is just to commit to some of these. So that means putting my foot on the ground and then leaving it there for the shortest amount of time possible. So really just planting my foot just to use it to jump back onto the board. And then that'll make everything look like one smooth, continuous motion. So you just need some confidence, commitment, put 2 feet on the board. So let's try that. I'm gonna start off going really, really slowly so I don't kill myself. But if I feel like that's going well, then maybe we'll speed it up. Holy crap. Well, that I technically landed. So maybe that is the first time we're actually committed to a no comply 180. It was super sketch, but that is a huge confidence booster. Let me see if I can try it again, get a couple more. Committing and putting 2 feet on the board is really scary. Just need to keep repeating, keep up that confidence, and then just commit. I landed that one pretty sketch, but I'm pretty happy with that. I committed to it and rolled away. So 2 to make it true, and then maybe I'll take some other angles and see what happens, but I landed that one. I think after a while it just kind of clicks. Landed them. So that is a no comply 180. I can't believe that I was able to learn that in 2 sessions. It was a little bit easier than some of the other tricks that I've struggled with. So I'm glad that I started with this one, but it feels so nice to be able to do a no comply 180 after all of this time. It was nowhere near as beautiful or as popped as Johnny Geiger's no comply 180s, but you know, you gotta start somewhere. And I'm very happy that I landed a handful of them today. So yeah, that's one thing I can check off of my 2024 goals list. There's still a handful more skateboarding related things on there. Maybe I should try to tackle those in the next month and a half. So on to the next trick.